up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So, look, let's talk a little bit about Karen Huger had her spinoff. It's a two-part spinoff, and it's going to be based on her family, the family farm, and focusing on succession. Now, I already know that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's boring. Oh, it's not. But I personally, I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. One, because y'all know I love me some Karen Huger. Okay, I love me some Karen. But two, because these are issues that we need to be taking care of. These are issues that we need to be addressing. And I am a history nerd. So when they get to the part dealing with the genealogy and all of that, I'm definitely going to be on board. But basically, the idea of this show is Karen is putting together a family reunion for the for this side of her family. She said it's going to be the first time that they've had a family reunion. And we know, if you've been watching the Real Housewives of Potomac, we know that Karen's family has a farm down in Surrey County, Virginia. Black-owned farm. Matter of fact, I believe her great-grandfather was able to buy the land from his owner, well, former owner at that point. And so it's a great story. But unfortunately, a lot of people, especially in the black community, we don't take care of our things, of the things. And when the older people pass away, we younger generation, we tend to sell off Big Mama house, or we don't keep it up, or we end up fighting over it. And then by the time everybody get done fighting, there ain't nothing left. So I think it's a good idea. So we start this episode off. We see Raven is home. So Raven is going to participate in this. We haven't seen Raven since she left for college. That's Karen's daughter. She has a daughter. She has a son. Now the son is not going to be on the show. He got to work. He ain't doing it. And we see her family come to her house where they're planning the family reunion. And so we meet, we've already met her Aunt Val, right? We met Aunt Val before, but we meet David and Megan, and their Aunt Val's son and daughter. We're going to meet Mario, who is Karen's brother. We've already met Bridget. And then we meet a couple of other cousins and stuff. And so they're coming to Karen's house. Karen is going to rent a home in Henrico County, which is about 45 minutes from Surrey. But of course, she wants to rent this home where everybody can kind of stay in the house overnight. And they're going to have a big party. And it's sort of going to be like the pre-reunion activity. And then it's going to sort of fade into the reunion, which is going to actually take place in Surrey. So the family shows up to the house. And on the way down there, we see them in the car driving down to Karen's house. And they're talking about, listen, David, who seems to be like the leader of the pack, he's like, listen, we're going to have a lot of fun, and the reunion sounds like a great idea, but we got some business we need to talk about. And we really need to talk to Mama about what her succession plan is. She's getting older, and right now we know that she runs the farm. She has ownership, but what's going to happen if and when, God forbid, she's not with us anymore? Like, we need to know what the plan is. And I 100% agree. Like, my parents sat us down a long time ago and went over what was there, what wasn't there, who gets what, who doesn't get anything, like what it looks like, right? I don't want to get on my soapbox, but we've got to get past not wanting to talk about these things because they're uncomfortable or because they make us sad. Because unfortunately, at the end of the day, we all gonna die. That's just a fact of life. That's what's going to happen. And we can either be prepared for it or we can be unprepared for it. But it's coming. Anyway, so anyway, they get there and, Karen made dinner for them. She ordered pizza. And they're talking, and and they say to Karen, they say, listen, we got something we want to talk to you about. And basically, they want Karen to talk to their mom, Val, about her succession plan for the farm. And Karen was like, me and your mama just got in a really good place. I don't think that's my place to talk to her about this. And they were like, well, no, we really want you to do it. You're closer to her in age, basically. We need you to handle it. So then they said, well, Karen said, well, I need to talk, before I agree to do this, I need to ask you guys one at a time. Like, are you ready for the responsibility? Is that what you want? And are you ready for the responsibility that comes along with that? And so she goes down the line, and Val's two kids are like, absolutely, we helped take care of that land. We helped her farm that land when we were kids. We grew up on that land. We are absolutely ready and responsible for what comes along with it. Then we go, um, um, they get to the other cousins, and Raven and like a couple of other cousins were like, listen, I'm happy to come down and visit, but I don't stake any claims to the land. I know that I don't have any right to claim anything on that land because I didn't grow up on the land. I didn't take care of it. I didn't help cultivate it. I didn't do any of that. But I'm happy to be a part of it, right? So Karen says, okay, I'll talk to your mom about it. Like, I'll do it. I'll do it, you know. So we see them all heading down to Henrico. I always say it wrong. I always say Henrico. I hope that's right. Anyway, and they rent the house. It's a nice house, you know. Of course, y'all know Karen. You know, it's going to be a nice house, something fitting of the grand dame. The first night that they're there, they basically, in my opinion, just had the same conversation they already had about the secession and all that good stuff and the reunion. The next day, they're having a party. Now, Karen felt the need to make an announcement to the whole group that her and Ray had sex. Karen, why do you think people need to know these things? Nobody needs to know about you and your husband and what y'all do or don't do in y'all bedroom. That is y'all's business. You don't have to prove nothing to us. Then, so they're getting ready for the party. Karen's having this nice, you know, cocktail party. They all get dressed up, and everybody looks really nice. And they want to know when Val coming. Well, come to find out, Val is bringing a date, and her son and daughter are like, "Excuse me, I know you lying. Like, ain't nobody say that she could bring a date. Like, who told her she could bring a date?" Baby, Aunt Val shows up, and not only does Aunt Val have a date, but her date is 20 years younger than her, and they know him. Come to find out, her date name is Chris, and Chris was the drummer for David. I guess David can sing, or I don't know, but Chris was the drummer, honey. And baby, Karen is tickled pink that Val got herself a young man. And listen, Val don't back away from it. She's like, yes, he's mine. You know, he got my back. You know, he be with me. That's what we do. I said, I know that's right, Val. You better, girl. So Karen, she did pull Val aside, but they just talked about things in general, talked about her man and all that good stuff. And Karen said, listen, we're having a good time. We are dressed up. We are partying. This probably is not the best place, the best time or place to have this sort of a conversation. We'll do it later on during the reunion. We got plenty of time for me to still have this conversation with her. But it looks like the party they had a nice time. She had it catered. They had drinks and food and all that good stuff, and they was partying. And listen, let me tell you something. It is not a black party until somebody does the electric slide. They can make 5,000 other line dances. We can get a Cupid shuffle. We can get a whatever else they got going on, child. But until somebody does the electric slide, it ain't a party. I don't care what nobody say. It ain't a party. I was down in Atlanta. We went to Lanithia's. We went to Nene's Lounge. Before the night was over, they started doing the electric slide. I said, who the hell is doing the electric slide down to the Lanithia? But they were. Because it ain't a party until somebody do the electric slide. So they was electric sliding, child. So next thing you know, we head on down to the house in Surrey. We down to the farm in Surrey. And they going fishing. Though none of them act like they know how to fish. Now, let me be clear. I'm not a fisher myself. People in my family fish. My sister loves to fish. My dad loves to fish. My cousins love to fish. That is not my thing. While they're fishing, I can go somewhere and read a book. I can go shopping. I can go sit on the beach. There are a lot of options I have when it's time to fish. And I feel like that's how all of them felt. Because they could care less about the fishing. But that was when Karen decided it was a good idea to pull Aunt Val aside, because she said, listen, we are all bored, okay? Ain't nobody catching nothing. We are bored. You know they don't want you talking too loud when it's fishing, because, you know, you're going to scare the fish away. So Karen wants to pull Aunt Val aside to have a conversation with her about secession. And of course, that's the exact moment where the episode ends. So part 2 is going to be next week, where we're going to conclude this. And again, I think it's an important conversation to have. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.